Hi, you guys. Welcome back for our daily practice questions. It is day 23, and as always, I like to first get into my introduction and disclaimer before getting started with our questions for today. So, for those of you who are familiar with me, hey y'all. For those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Dr. Brittany Weinstock. I am a family nurse practitioner, and I am the founder and CEO of the Nursing Studio. I provide resources, tools, review courses, review videos, review books, digital flashcards, Q banks, one on one sessions, and more to assist nurses as well as nurse practitioners with success on their boards as well as in practice. I've been doing this since 2015, assisting nurses and nurse practitioners internationally with exam success. Now, y'all know my disclaimer and reminder is that we know there's no absolutes in medicine. We treat on a patient by patient basis, and any of the questions that you see here, I have designed and created based on the current guidelines that are being tested on the ANCC as well as AAMP exam. Now, any of my videos where I'm teaching on things that we currently do in practice, I will always say that so there's no confusion. So, with that being said, let's get into question number one for today. Question number one states a 58-year-old patient with a 30-pack year smoking history presents to your clinic complaining of chronic cough, wheezing, and shortness of breath, which has progressively worsened over the last year. What is the most appropriate initial diagnostic test to confirm COPD? Is it A, a chest x ray, B, spirometry, C, ABGs, or D, a sputum culture? Take a moment and tell me what you got in the comments, you guys. Tell me what you got in the comments. All right, so y'all know I always recommend reading the stem of the question first, as it allows you to slow down to ensure you're answering what is even being asked of you. So here the stem of the question states, what is the most appropriate initial diagnostic test to confirm COPD? Y'all, and this is a prime example, and I always talk about this, of how the stem of the question is so very important. This is telling you exactly what you need to answer for this question. All of the other scenario really does not mean anything, right? It's additional detail, but this stem is straightforward with what they're asking. What is the most appropriate initial diagnostic test to confirm COPD? And you should be able to tell me B, spirometry. Spirometry is that first line diagnostic test, the gold standard for diagnosing COPD, right? So B is your best answer. Question number two. A 65-year-old patient with a history of smoking presents with progressive shortness of breath, especially on exertion. They also complain of a chronic productive cough. You perform a spirometry test and the results show an FEV1 of 65%. What stage of COPD would this patient likely be in? Is it A, stage 1, the mild stage, B, stage 2, moderate, C, stage 3, severe stage, or D, stage 4, the very severe stage? Take a moment and tell me what you got in the comments, y'all. All right, so similar question here. What stage of COPD would this patient likely be in? All right, so what we have going on, and as we process our way through, we know there's 4 stages of the gold stages of COPD, right? So let's process what they're telling us. We have a 65-year-old patient. They have a smoking history, progressive shortness of breath, especially on exertion. Spirometry test was completed, and the FEV1 is 65%. And what does that fall into? Stage 1 is what? 80% or greater, right? All right. So stage 2 is anywhere from 50 to that 79%, right? 50 to 80, whatever you want to say. That 30, I always say think of it as in 30% increments, but that 50 to 80 range is stage 2. 65% falls into that number, right? So your best answer is B, stage 2, the moderate phase. And as I always tell y'all, put it in a chart. In my review book and in the classes, that's how I teach it to you. I put it in a chart so you can see the 4 goal stages together. You can see how mild, moderate, severe, very severe looks across the board. And then you're able to look at those ranges a little bit easier. So make studying simpler for yourself, okay? Or get the book if you need assistance. And then lastly, question number 3. A 63-year-old patient with a 40-pack year smoking history presents with increasing dyspnea and a chronic cough with sputum production. A spirometry test is performed and the results show an FEV1 of 45%. Based on these findings, what is the most appropriate classification of this patient's COPD stage? Is it A, stage 1, Is it B, stage 2? Is it C, stage 3? Or is it D, stage 4? Take a moment and tell me what you got in the comments, y'all. Tell me what you got. Also, y'all, tell me, give me feedback. Tell me in the comments your answer choices. Even if you don't know, you can put I don't know. Tell me if you need more of these style questions or areas that you struggle. Let me know. Talk back to me. All right, so let's see. Stem of the question here. Based on these findings, what is the most appropriate classification of this patient's COPD stage? All right, so what's going on here? We have a 63-year-old patient. They came in, have a 40-pack year smoking history, increasing dyspnea, chronic cough, sputum production, and the spirometry has a FEV1 of 45%, right? So same thing that we just did on question number 2. Walk your way through the COPD stages. So again, like I say, I like to display it in a chart format so that it makes it easier for you to review. So again, stage 1, 80% or greater, right? That's that mild stage. You're not at your highest, but you're still okay. That's the higher is mild, right? Stage 2, it drops down a little bit more. And like I said, think of it in 30% increment is how I typically teach my reviewers. But it's from 50 to 80% for stage 2, right? All right, this is less than that, right? Stage 3 drops down a little bit more. It's anywhere from that 30 to 50%, right? Ding, ding, ding. This is stage 3, the severe stage, right? Because that 45% falls in between 30 to 50, right? And then lastly, stage 4 is your very severe stage, and that's anything less than 30%, all right? But again, as this FEV1 for this patient is 45%, that would put them in the stage 3 category. Y'all write that thing out. If it's something, this is one of those things, as you always hear me say, repetition is the key to retention. So this is one of those things you just got to keep in front of you. You just got to. So you have to keep it in front of you. So write this thing out, look at the chart, write your own chart, and look at it each day. And even if you are doing a scratch, I call it a scratch sheet. That's what I've called it forever. But I know some people call it a dump sheet. So if you do those, write this thing on there so that you can get used to writing it down, seeing it. So on exam day, do the same thing. Write that thing down so that if you get any of these questions and you're under that like test mode, um, all the thoughts going through your head, some test anxiety, you have that as a confirmation so that you can keep on pushing and keep your test confidence throughout as well. Okay. But make sure you know these things, y'all. COPD gold stages. And y'all know, like I said, for the rest of this month, we are covering the respiratory section. So I'm walking you through COPD right now. We'll get into asthma. So this was really just to kind of get you started knowing what is our gold standard diagnostic exam for COPD, which is spirometry, right? And then we just discussed the staging. So knowing those FEV1, how to study that, and knowing what falls into the stages. So y'all know what's coming up next. It's going to be how do you treat those stages, right? But all right, y'all. I hope you found this helpful. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with whomever you may think may find this beneficial as well. But y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all meet me back here. And if you need any other resources that I do offer, feel free to reach out to the nursing studio by giving us a call at 803 400 6864. You can also shoot a text message to this number or shoot us an email to thenursingstudio, the number one, at gmail.com. Everything that I offer is linked in the bio of this channel, including my website. And as always, if you're looking to book any of my one-on-one sessions, any tutoring for current students, or any of my custom packages or plans, I always say either call, text, or email, as I prefer to speak with you first to gauge what you truly need to make sure you're booking the appropriate session type. All right, you guys? Awesome. If you are struggling with anything, like I said, please let me know if there's any topics or things that you would like me to cover. I am happy to do so. And also, if you're trying to find specific videos, I always say, one, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. But when you're on my channel, instead of just looking under the list of videos, click on the playlist. There is a tab at the top that says playlist where things are sectioned by certain systems, certain diagnoses, and by practice questions. So it can help narrow it down because I do have a lot of videos because I do things daily, but I've also for years been doing videos on certain content to kind of help you break those things down. Or another step that's easier, if you are subscribed on that channel page, going or just directly on the Nursing Studio YouTube channel, there is something at the top that will say search on this channel. In that search box, type in whatever that word is you need to review. And if I have videos on it, which I 90% of the chance do, it will take you directly to the videos that discuss those. Okay. So I hope that makes it a little bit easier for you to filter through. I've tried to narrow it down. So I just like to give those tidbits because when I'm talking to people, I get those questions. So hopefully that makes it helpful for you. But again, y'all know what to do. Y'all make sure y'all meet me back here. Happy studying. Bye, y'all.